Hola a todos, aquí Khalaris, bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo. Y en este vídeo básicamente vamos a reaccionar al directo que está teniendo lugar el día 30 de abril de 2021. Son las 9 menos 5, iba a ser a las 8, pero lo han retrasado una hora, ¿vale? Os quería explicar, quería empezar el vídeo, digamos, 5 minutos antes para explicaros un par de cosas que quiero explicar. Por cierto, este es el primer vídeo que estoy haciendo live, ¿vale? Por cierto, no estaréis escuchando audio, pongo esto, para que escuchéis un poco de audio. Bueno, básicamente quería empezar como 5 minutos antes para explicaros un poco cómo va a ir esto de los directos reaccionando. Vale, me voy a poner el micro bien un momento. Creo que sí está bien. Hablando de micros, ahora os hablo de micros. Eyes of Creation hace streamings mensuales para mostrar el avance del juego, ¿vale? Entonces, lo que haremos en este canal, como quiero traer toda la información, reaccionaremos en directo a estos vídeos y lo subiré entero. A lo mejor es 1 hora y media, bueno, pues lo voy a subir entero porque subiré mi reacción en directo y luego haré un vídeo aparte. Haré un vídeo aparte. ¿Con qué voy a hacer un vídeo aparte? Espérate, que sí, en el directo no me salen las cosas. Ah, sí, haré un vídeo aparte reaccionando. Ay, no, reaccionando no. Este es el de reaccionar. Joder. Haré un vídeo aparte resumiendo todo. ¿Vale? O sea que, a no ser que os interese mucho todo lo del Eyes of Creation y tal, piraos de este vídeo. O sea, os lo digo ya. Piraos de este vídeo si no os queréis ver un montonazo de información que no necesitáis, ¿vale? Esto es solo para super fans de Explicación, ¿vale? Y sin más, si queréis menos información, más resumida, mucho más rápido, no sé de cuánto será el vídeo, a lo mejor de 10 minutitos, menos, probablemente 5 o 7, pues ir al vídeo que subirá al canal, ¿vale? Subiré después de este, como... Hostia, se ha tatuado el símbolo. Pues estar pendientes del canal, si estáis bien escuchándome ahora mismo, estar pendientes del canal porque subiré un vídeo resumen, subiré 2 vídeos sobre el directo del 30 de abril de 2021, que será este de aquí, de mi reacción, y otro directo resumido, el directo resumido. Y ahora nos quedan 2 minutos y 40 segundos antes de que empiece toda la información a llegar. Y antes de nada, ¿os acordáis que os he dicho hablando de micros? Vale, pues me he abierto un Patreon para que si os interesa, no quiero hacer este tipo de promoción porque realmente me parece una puta mierda, ¿no? Esto es algo como súper extra. Pero os quería decir que me he hecho un Patreon. No tiene ventajas ninguna el Patreon. O sea, no tiene ventajas ninguna. Yo lo explico todo en el Patreon. No tiene ventajas ninguna, ¿vale? Es solo, exclusivamente para apoyarme. Y todo el dinero que saque de Patreon irá directamente al canal. ¿Está bien? O sea, no es... Yo esto no lo saco para hacer dinero. Yo no necesito el dinero de Patreon para nada. Pero si voy a invertir dinero en el canal, pues es una buena manera que si vosotros queréis que siga subiendo contenido, pues me apoyéis, ¿no? A subir este contenido mejorándolo. Y lo que quiero es comprarme un micro. La primera milestone, que no la pongo aquí, no sé cómo se pone, realmente no sé utilizar. No sé utilizar Patreon para nada. Obviamente no me he creado nunca Patreon. Pero sí, primera milestone va a ser comprarse un micro en condiciones. Primera milestone del Patreon es básicamente comprar un micro en condiciones. Porque sé que el micro que tengo ahora a veces se escucha un poquito petardeado y tal. Me gustaría dejarme 100, 150 euros en un micro bueno que podáis escuchar bien de calidad. Y cuando pongo la voz de narrador, que pongo de hola, muy buenas a todos, bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo, pues que todo eso lo escuchéis increíble. Voy a ponerlo ya está en modo teatro. Ya está en modo teatro. Esto no lo puedo poner. Uy. No sé ni lo que estoy haciendo. Estoy tocando cosas en el OBS. Yo grabo desde OBS y todo. Estoy tocando cositas. Bueno. Pues quedan 30 segundos, ¿vale? Esto es todo en inglés. Así que yo voy a intentar... Bueno. Es mi reacción, ¿no? Al fin y al cabo. Así que os intentaré explicar todo en la medida de lo posible, porque es pregunta tras pregunta. Intentaré, en la medida de lo posible, traducir. Pero bueno, el vídeo realmente, donde está toda la información, vendrá después de este. Como al día o así, ¿vale? Que será el de reaccionando. Joder, con equivocarme. Será el de resumen. Vale, ojito. 2 segundos. 1. 0. Hype. Por eso, nunca lo he comentado porque no hemos hablado de esto todavía, pero me flipa la puta montura del oso hormiguero, ¿eh? O sea, ya se ha visto muchas veces la montura del oso hormiguero y yo la quiero tener, tío. Mola muchísimo. Mis amigos dicen que es feísima. A mí me mola. Cafelito. Late. Late están poniendo en el chat. Significa tarde, para los que no sepáis inglés. Cuando lo vea así, se escucha el micro, ¿no? Sí, eso parece. Van tarde. Por cierto, si se escucha el gato, se está escuchando ahora mismo. ¿Qué gato? Let's fucking go. Voy a dejar al gato a su sitio de dormir. No sé si debería dejar el chat o quitarlo. Actually, lo voy a hacer en grande. Chicos, vamos allá. Directo, día 30 de abril 2021.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Ashes of Creation April development update. We hope that you all are having a lovely
Por cierto, vaya casa me lleva
month
Steven,
and that you're super excited to join us and see what we've got in store for you. We have so much. If you've never tuned into our streams before, this is where we go through everything that we've done this month. We go through each of the different departments and all of the cool stuff that they want to show off. And we hope that you enjoy it. And with me, as always, is our one, the only creative director, Stephen Sharif. How are you doing today?
Este es,
Besides a little
bueno,
I am
nuestro
stressed.
Jesucristo, ¿no? Nuestro
we
Jesucristo.
have
I'm
those
doing
days,
okay.
you know. I
Que
think
me
we
lleva a
can
una
think it's
casa
all
de madre
fun
mía,
and
¿sabes?
games, but,
Se están
it's
saludando
work,
ellos,
man.
o sea, se están presentando.
Yeah, last night we had some fun stuff happen on the build side that
Por eso está diciendo que está súper
kind
estresado
of
y ahora
pushed
está
some of the
hablando de
recording I
que
wanted to do to this
anoche pasó algo
morning,
muy loco.
and
Which then
then we
stresses me out.
which stressed out Margaret, and then we started the recording, and I thought I started the recording, and we had a great record session.
It was so good.
It was so good.
It was
then
perfect.
The recording didn't work.
Es súper raro porque la pava
And it
esta,
was so
community
sad.
manager
Although
esta, quien
Margaret- it's- I
sea,
guess it's good 'cause Margaret had
está
power.
como en un
She
sitio ahí
actually, the
súper
power went
feliz. De
out.
hecho, tiene como un
I've
gato
never
raro ahí
had that
atrás, ¿no?
happen before, other than obviously in a
Luego el
storm
pavo
and things of
este,
that
no
sort,
sé,
but my
tiene
power fully
miles
went
de
out,
hijos porque
like,
está
in
todo
our
lleno de
entire
putos
house.
juguetes
We're like, oh
en
no,
su puta
what about the
habitación.
fridge? But it came
Y
back.
luego el puto Steven, que es
So it was okay, but
en la
it was
polla más
so
grande
weird.
del mundo,
Yeah,
¿sabes? O sea, mira la casa que tiene,
Probably.
I
con
do
el
have 6
puto
monitors,
fueguito
but
ese que será un fueguito
I don't
falso,
think
pero
that's a problem.
madre mía,
Oh, I
cómo
just
se ve,
noticed how
¿sabes?
green you have so many plants now. That's awesome. I love them.
I'm accumulating. I might have a problem.
Oh, look
It's
at the
fine.
orchids. I love the orchids.
That's from you, John.
Quiero...
Oh, is that our orchids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
He sent them
cool.
to me.
No quiero
for
soplar al
when
micro,
my
tío.
dad died, so it was very
Aw.
sweet of him. I'm gonna cry,
Well,
so let's just not talk
I
about
know.
it.
Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Had kind of the same morning as you guys did, except from the other side. But yeah, it's been good.
And Jeff Bard is our lead game designer, if you didn't know that.
Están
So
presentando,
thank you,
no,
Jeff.
ahora
And of
mismo.
course, I'm your community marketing lead, and we are excited to run you through all of the things. So I'll just quick go over what we'll be covering today, and I'll give you our reminders. So first and foremost, we have our reminders that we'll go over. We have a studio update. We have a little bonus engineering video from them. And then we have design update with a little well, a 16-minute video, so I wouldn't call that little
Should I be
necessarily.
concerned about what the engineering video is? Because I was
We
rushing
should
so much,
all be
I didn't
You
even
should not be
review
concerned.
anything. I
You
didn't
should not
review
be
any of this
concerned.
stuff.
It's all in the run of
Está
show.
diciendo que tienen
You
un
can
vídeo
comment if you
de
want.
del
But,
apartado
of course,
de ingeniería,
you know, I
¿no?
try to put things
Que
with
Steven
some
dice que ni
respect,
siquiera
but
lo ha
I guess
visto.
Steven
Así
and
que
sometimes Steven's like, I wouldn't show that, but you know, it's okay. I like showing some of the nitty gritty stuff. And then, of course, we have an environment art update with some concept stuff as well, and in-game screenshots of the amazing work they've been doing. And you're going to see some of that in the video as well, in the design video. And then we also have the character art update, which is filled with all of the goodies as well. And then we have our Q&A, which, you know, you all have submitted some amazing questions. Toast was telling me that it was so many pages long, but she has been amazing and gone through all of it. And
por
if
el
you
del
don't get your
resumen
question
seguramente
answered here,
irá
it may
basado
be
en
answered
la parte de
over on our
Q&A,
forums after the live stream, because
Question and
she's awesome
Answers,
and just goes through all
que
of
es
them and tries to
preguntas y
answer,
respuestas.
especially the ones that have already been answered. So just do keep an eye on that stuff.
Dice que
And
no
so I'll just
responderán a
quickly go through
preguntas
some reminders. First and
que
foremost,
no hayan sido, que ya hayan sido respondidas.
see all the things. We have our monthly cosmetic swap
Este es el
over
pack
for
de
from
cosméticos que
the
metieron
Undergrowth, which
para
is scheduled
los
for May 5th,
compradores de la alfa.
2021 at 11
Bueno,
a.m.
alfa y beta,
Pacific,
como veis aquí
as noted
las
in the news
keys.
article. We always let you know when they're going
Bueno,
to
esta
swap
es la
over in
temática
advance, so
de
you know how long you have to get them.
la gente que
Reminder
compre el
that these
alfa
are
pack ahora
exclusives,
tendrá
and there's more information
esta,
about that
pues, no,
over
pues
on our
esta
KB
temática, ¿no? De
articles
skins
over
y
on the
tal.
support page.
Y esto es
During
límite,
this time,
o sea, es
we'll also
limitado.
be adding
Cuando
in
se acabe el
Alpha 1
mes,
pre-order
esto se va,
packages,
¿sabes?
or
Y
the
bueno, esto
Alpha
es
1
tiempo,
pre-order
así es como
package. We
señalan
know
el
that
tiempo de
is
juego con el
something that
relojito
people have
este.
been asking
Y esto es
about,
dinero de la
and,
tienda.
we will be adding that. So that will be
Estos
coming
son
on
los
May
de la
5th,
montura de
2021.
caravana,
You'll have
skins,
upgrade packs
montura,
for that, for folks who already
gorro,
have pre-order packs. And of
mascota
course, if
y
you're a
casa.
Kickstarter backer, there's already upgrade packs
Todos
in order to
suelen
get
ser
the
iguales,
access to
by the way.
Alpha 1. And more information will be in our May 4th sneak peek news cosmetic article. We always do this. We give
Voy a
you
bajar
an
un poco el
update the
volumen
day
porque
before so that you
en realidad
or sometimes
tampoco os
even more in
interesa tanto
advance,
escuchar,
about the new cosmetic
porque
set, so you know what's
se
swapping
supone que
over.
si lo estáis
As
viendo en
well
español es que no lo
as,
entendéis
this one
en
will
inglés.
include an FAQ about the Alpha 1 pre-order package, because
Esto ha
we know that
sonado, ahora que
will
lo
be some
pienso,
extended
muy
questions, and we
repelente.
wanna make sure that
Sorry.
we're getting those answered prior. So as soon as that comes out, check out those Q&A questions or FAQ questions, and then if there's any other questions that come up, we'll add to that article as well if we see some more frequently asked questions that we didn't think of.
Porque me estoy
But
preguntando
I think
cuánto
we're
durará
usually
este
pretty good
vídeo,
with our
tío.
FAQs. That should cover all of that. Stephen, I know you wanted to maybe preface something on that front as well.
Yeah, so guys and gals, just to preface yet again, I know in my director's letter I did give a stern warning about Alpha 1 and what to expect. This is a true developmental alpha. There are going to be bugs. There's going to be
Ahora está
unfinished
hablando
systems,
básicamente de
sure,
una cosa
very
que
core
dijo
fashion.
que es cierta y es que la
If
gente,
you
que no
are
es que la
interested and
gente,
you are planning to purchase or upgrade the
bueno, esto es
package,
lo que
it
está
is a
diciendo,
high dollar
que
value package.
la
It's
gente,
$500 package. It needs to be that.
la gente, o sea, lo que está diciendo ahora es básicamente es que la gente que compre el pack que no se espere jugar a un juego, porque realmente una alfa no es un juego, es para testear. O sea, ellos lo que quieren hacer con la alfa es gente comprometida y cuando tú compras la alfa, tú te estás comprometiendo a dar feedback, o sea, tú no te lo vas ahí a pasar bien, a ver, que obviamente te lo va a pasar bien, ¿no? Es un juegazo. Aunque bueno, de momento tiene muchos bugs y tal, pues es obvio, es una alfa, ¿sabes? Entonces lo que está diciendo Steven es que nadie se compre la alfa pensando que va a ser el juego entero. Van a haber un montón de bugs y lo que se espera de la gente que se compre la alfa es que dé feedback, que dé respuestas, ¿no? Y que avise de los bugs y tal al equipo de Intrepid Studios. Eso es básicamente lo que hacen. Eso es básicamente lo que ellos esperan de alguien que compre la alfa.
Is to provide feedback, is to
Lo que acabo de
test,
decir.
and it is an arduous journey to be a tester, because you're having to deal with delays, you're having to deal with bugs and crashes and fixes, and you are expected to give feedback in our forums, on these, in our private alpha forums. You're in our you're in the NDA Discord channel, interacting with the devs, and just playing the waiting game. Now, obviously, we're going to have a lot of bug fixes and stuff that we go through, that we have been going through, and we're trying to get it in a good spot so so things are going to go well. But just keep in mind, you are not purchasing Alpha 1. For those of you who are interested in that, and I know we've had a lot of interest in it, you are not purchasing Alpha 1 to play Ashes of Creation. You you are purchasing Alpha 1, if you do so, to test it and to give us
Esto
feedback.
es básicamente
That's a
lo que os he explicado.
responsibility we
Esto ya lo
expect you
puso
to
en
hold
una
dear.
carta hace unos días.
So I'm trying to give you as much of a stern warning as possible so that you understand. Now, obviously, the package I think is priced and has goodies in it that are good. There's a lot of game time there. There's credits. There's cosmetics. And when you calculate those things, obviously the alpha isn't. I think the alpha is like $50 or something if you try to calculate all the other stuff. Or I don't know. We don't have necessarily a price for it, but just keep that in mind. So.
Ahora está diciendo que bueno, que los alpha packs y tal, además de jugar al alfa, te vienen con cosméticos y tal, o sea que restando toda la otra cosa, la alfa te sale por unos 50 pavos así.
I saw someone in chat that says, "Take my life." No, temper, hold. No, just kidding. That's so great.
I think Stephen has basically been trying to say this, and if you read or checked out our creative director's letter, which is another element, definitely go check out that creative director's letter. We really tried to set the expectation here that, this is not a final product, that it is alpha. There will be bugs. So if you're watching streams and stuff, keep that in mind in YouTube videos. I know there will be people who cover our content and judge us as if we were a final product, but we just want to preface that you're going to see the journey, and it's going to be a long one. I mean, even the past, if you've looked at kind of the past content before I even started, you can see how much has changed, and it's quite amazing.
Ahora están hablando de que podemos observar lo mucho que ha cambiado el juego y lo que va a cambiar, ¿no? De aquí a la salida, que es algo obvio.
Really invested and follow the game religiously, and then those who are just kind of innocent bystanders that see, some press release every now and then. There's going to be people out in different gaming communities that look at what Alpha 1 is, and they're going to say, oh, see, look, this doesn't look good, or it's buggy, or whatever.
They'll come back, Stephen.
No, I know. No. I have no concern about that. Like, in my opinion, it has been a far more beneficial approach from a transparency standpoint to show active development, even if that active development isn't.
Ahora está diciendo que para él es muy valioso y que le vale más la transparencia y el hecho de que la gente le devuelva el feedback, ¿no? Y de que le hablen a él del juego para que él pueda arreglar bugs y tal. Bueno, él no, porque él no sabe. Creo que no sabe programación, vamos, él es el creative director. Pero ahora lo que está diciendo es que eso, que para él es mucho más valioso, más que vender humo y decir, ¡guau, sí, mirad mi juego es la puta hostia! Que a la gente le diga, pues, eso está muy bien, esto está muy mal, tenéis que trabajar en esto. Eso es lo que importa.
I expected. I have full confidence that those types of people, they come around every press beat. Every time there's some like Alpha 1 or Alpha 2 or Beta, they're going to see the press reports, they're going to see the, content creators, and they're going to see what the product looks like in an evolutionary state. They're just not going to have full context that people who are part of the community religiously see and know. But when we get down the road and Alpha 2 comes out and Beta comes out and eventually Launch comes out, I have no problem. I think we'll recapture that audience, obviously. So I have no real concerns about that. But just for you guys to make sure you understand, as an Alpha, help to spread that message and awareness so that people know.
And, all of our social platforms right here on the right side of me.
Bueno,
or maybe it's on the left when you're watching.
Y ya estoy cumpliendo mi misión de trasladar este pensamiento del alfa. Eso es lo que está diciendo, ¿no? Que esparzamos la palabra, ¿no? De que es un alfa, tío. O sea, no puedes mirar un puto juego de una alfa. O sea, por ejemplo, si miras la puta alfa del Minecraft con lo que luego salió, es una diferencia abismal, ¿sabes? Por poneros un ejemplo muy cutre. Además es que tenéis que pensar que lo que estamos viendo probablemente no es ni un 10% de lo que tienen hecho, porque tú no puedes sacar un juego y enseñarlo todo antes de que salga, si no vaya mierda, ¿sabes? A ver, vamos a ver.
Which was what kinds of tools or rewards most encourage you to become involved in a mentorship program, either as a mentor or a mentee. And you guys have submitted some great feedback for us. I believe Toast might have already sent that report over to the dev team, and we will be doing May's dev discussion regarding crafting. I know folks have been wanting to talk about crafting. We're ready to talk about it now. So definitely, if you care about crafting or you have a friend who cares about crafting, go tell them to get involved in this discussion so that we can get their feedback. A lot of the times, like we said before, that feedback pretty much is in line with our designs, but it's always great to ensure that we're on the right page, that we're thinking of all of the things, and sometimes you guys think of something that we
Esta
didn't
se
think
nota que es
of,
de
or you have
marketing
a
solo por
problem
cómo habla.
that
Se
we
nota que es de marketing
are able to
muchísimo.
address in other means.
Ah,
So definitely let us know, and we'd love to.
pero bueno,
you know,
se
hear your
acepta.
feedback. And
Vale,
of
a ver.
course, you can
Esa
still go
session
back and give
please.
us
Se lo
mentorship
perdonamos.
feedback
Se lo
as well.
perdonamos que hable como la típica
Now,
tía de
if
marketing.
you've been following us closely, you know that we have been doing guild gatherings as well. We are starting to build out those social systems now, and obviously guilds are a massive social system within
Vale, dicen que están
MMORPGs.
empezando
And we
a
asked you guys this month,
están
how do you
empezando a
measure
hacer
your
cosas de
success as a
guilds. Están
guild
empezando
in
a
a game?
trabajar en
What
estos
kind of
sistemas
things would you like to
sociales.
see in Ashes of Creation to help you measure that success? And you've already submitted a lot of great feedback for us. I know the dev team is going to take that with with all of their heart. And of course, next month we will be talking about team building. And obviously there's a lot that goes
Dicen que
into
el
team
siguiente mes
building.
van a hablar
So
de
really
team
give us
building,
your
que es
feedback, let
básicamente
us know, because we
constructor de
want to be
equipos, es
able
la
to
traducción
provide
literal.
you those systems. We want to be able to provide you that type of content.
Vale,
And
probablemente
if
esto
you guys give
sea
us,
para hacer
the feedback that you
grupos o
want,
no sé.
then we'll make it. We'll
Parece
make it
que lo
come to
hablarán el siguiente
fruition. That's our
mes.
goal. And of course, last but not least, we have our upcoming schedule, and that is going to be May 14th through May 21st, which is our alpha
De
1
mayo
and preview
14
playtest. It's
a
a
mayo
week-long playtest,
31 se
and
abre
we'll be
una
sending
alfa.
out some
Se
emails
está
for everybody
diciendo.
who's eligible for that. Most of you already know if you're eligible, but do keep an eye. We'll be sending an RSVP email along with
Creo que es sin
Discord
NDA.
Connect, so that you can connect your Discord account.
No, con NDA, creo que es
You
esta.
should
O sea,
also
no
have
se puede
access
hablar de
to
esta.
a forum section and all of that jazz. We'll
Creo.
just try to keep you guys
A
informed
mirar
on all of
la
the
pantalla.
things as we move forward. Toast does an amazing job of also putting together a great, FAQ doc, as well as grab some information from design, so you know what classes are available,
Estoy mirando la de la
what systems are
pantalla.
available, what things
A
we're
ver.
testing, what type of feedback
Bueno,
we're
se lo
looking
tengo encima
for.
de esta.
So just keep
Pero
an
es
eye
la
out
de
on
esta,
that.
moviéndose.
And last but not least, I know I have a lot today for community reminders. Content creator program. We know that people have been asking
Es con
about it,
NDA,
and
sí.
the revamp is very close. So we're hoping to be able to announce that next week. So stay tuned. And we're excited to have you all join the journey with us. We have a lot of cool things planned, and hopefully you're excited as well. And with that, I'm going to move on over to our studio update so that Stephen can tell us a little bit about what's been going on at our studio, which
Vale,
is
van a hablar
a
de
lot.
la actualización que ha pasado en el estudio.
Absolutely. So we are finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with getting back into studio.
Dicen que están volviendo al estudio.
A lot of work has been done.
Que es un
over
nuevo
this last
estudio,
month.
además.
We've had a fun time, all the leads picking out furniture for the new studio, doing walkthroughs of the studio, making plans. Yes, Jeff did win the chair battle. He selected the chair, so if anybody in the studio doesn't like them, you can blame Jeff.
I do want to say this. It has been cool that you've allowed all of the leads to be part of that process.
Dicen que básicamente se la han estado pasando bien, haciendo muebles para el nuevo estudio. En verdad tiene que ser muy guapo, tío, pillar un montón de muebles y tal para tu estudio. Pensar que vas a trabajar ahí un montón de horas, tío.
I think it's fun to be inclusive in those things, in everything I try to do. Obviously, I enjoy the extra voices, and I think it's an important part of this being a collaborative effort, and even down to the chairs.
I want to say on the chair front, we had a variety of sizes of people. I'm a very tiny person, and everyone else is giant. So it was definitely interesting to see what kind of chairs different people liked.
Yes, it was fun to see that.
The chair you guys decided on.
Es decir que me cae un poquito mal la tía esta, pero a mí los de marketing me caen mal.
Super comfy though, honestly, I love it.
Son como un veneno, ¿sabes?
So
Es la impresión que me da
a lot of stuff on that front for the studio. We're hoping to be back in. It's looking like we're going to start phasing in June 15th up until July 1st, and by that period of time we should have everybody in the new studio. Once we're situated.
Dicen que más o menos el 1 de julio estarán todos en el estudio ya. Y que una vez estén todos en el estudio harán vídeos de desarrollo, blogs enseñando el estudio y tal.
Everyone in the studio that's joined us. We have so many things that we want to do, and then obviously a lot of behind the scenes on social. So definitely follow us on social, because we'll be taking pictures more like candid style. So nothing too crazy, but kind of over the shoulder stuff that you can see what people are working on. as we move forward. It's going to be cool to be able to do that kind of stuff
Absolutely.
again.
It's going to be great, obviously, also
Tienes que
for our
pensar que
hiring strategy,
llevan
which
prácticamente
for,
pues
team
todo el año,
members.
¿no? El
You
año y
guys can
medio
take
metidos
those
en
tour
casa,
videos
trabajando
and
desde casa.
spam them on all the socials to all your favorite
Por el
devs
COVID.
and say, why aren't you working at Intrepid? No,
Our live stream updates we'll all be all together in the same room again. It's a different type of
Exactly.
atmosphere. I feel like when we're all together.
Y dicen que estos
Yes,
streamings
absolutely.
serán
So
todos desde la
things are
misma
going
sala.
well. We're still hiring. We're going to have some fun hiring phases as soon as we're back in studio. There's going to be virtual and physical job fairs we're planning to do. We have
También que van a
lot of
contratar
space
nueva
in the
gente
studio.
una vez
It's
tengan el nuevo estudio.
huge, and we are going to be hiring a lot of new amazing talent. So we're very excited about that. Otherwise, developments moving forward. Team is doing a stellar job. The world is beautiful. The mechanics are up and running, and we're getting a lot of great performance gains over these play tests on the networking side as well. So we're very excited to share that for Alpha. We're hard at work getting that stuff ready.
Uy, Steven,
Studio
el
is
COVID.
in a good state.
Yay. All right. We're going to move on to our design goodies, but first, got a little engineering bit, and I'm
Is
going
it
to
a surprise?
I'm going to walk
Yeah,
you
what is
a
this?
surprise for you guys. But if
Vale,
you
vale.
guys
Steven
haven't
no ha
let him
visto este
show,
vídeo
you
de
can
I
see
had
that.
time to
de
read
ingeniería.
the show. I was like in there. Are you
I
kidding
put
me?
this nice document that's like a bajillion pages
Oh
long,
my
but it's
gosh.
okay.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
going to show you guys this video, and I'm going to talk over it a little bit because our wonderful Kevin McPherson, aka
What?
Mick P, our engineer who does a lot of amazing work, his team is also just
Our lead
phenomenal.
For
programmer.
Yeah.
sure.
That team they are like the glue for everybody. They make
Magic day in and day
yeah.
out.
So just shout out to them in general.
Están hablando de que el equipo de
You
ingeniería
don't get to
de
see a lot of
programación
updates
es
from
el
engineering,
glue,
but
¿no? El
There's not
superglue,
actual
la
code
cola
in
que lo
this,
pega
like,
todo.
We've obfuscated anything
it's
sensitive.
no code. It's a visual thing.
I'm so scared
all
right now.
Dicen que no es código, es algo visual. Vamos a ver, por favor.
No, okay, we'll switch over to it. All right, here we go. It's pretty simple. I don't think you'll be that freaked out. So they're working on
this is the
performant
buoyancy
buoyance
stuff.
models
Okay,
that can
got
be
it.
synchronized efficiently between client and server. What this is going to allow us to do is it will be used for naval adventures in the future. Performing time synchronized calculations on both the client and the server reduces the network traffic required to support large numbers of buoyant objects. So, like all of the ships that will be on there.
Vale,
And
están
allow us to
hablando
support
de que
more
han hecho
at
como
once.
un
So
test
large siege
para
battle
cosas
or
navales y
large
tal,
naval battle type of
con estos
content pieces.
flotadores raros que hay.
Hopefully, down the line, right? So that's kind of it. Steven's like, is there anything that's not supposed to be there? Look at it.
I know. I'm so concerned. But
I think it's
yes,
good.
go
It looks
ahead.
good. Looks clear.
No, yeah, it looks very good.
Brown bear spawner.
There's a lot of physics, obviously, in the ocean that's intended between the buoyancy that's there for ships, for players, for pretty much everything going on in the water has some type of buoyancy associated with it. So it's important to keep that relatively performant, and it's good to see that testing on the code
Es
side
bueno, es bastante
already
bueno. O sea,
on
lo que está
top.
diciendo es que es
We're
bastante
excited
bueno
for that
ver esto,
aspect of
porque,
Ashes. The
y en
naval
plan, un
content is
buen
always a fun
FPS,
thing.
We get a
porque
lot of
con
questions about
muchos
naval
objetos
content.
en el
Obviously,
agua
it's
se
not gonna be
mantiene
in
estable de
Alpha 1,
FPS, teniendo en cuenta la de
precisely,
físicas que tiene el
but
agua del
we do get a
océano,
lot of questions
que es un
about
montón de
it.
físicas.
So we are working on stuff that you're not seeing in the Alpha 1 as well.
I see somebody says 5,000 bears on boats.
Yes.
5,000 bears on 5,000 boats.
You will have to
5,000 boats.
test it, but not 5,000.
that's
Let's
funny.
slim it down to like 200 versus 200.
All right, very well.
You guys shoot for the stars, don't you?
That's true. You
Wait,
aim
moon?
for no,
Aim for the moon,
shoot
hit the
for the
stars?
moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the
There's
stars.
got to be some
There
kind
you
of like.
That's one of my
fair
favorite
fun in there.
motivational speakers, Les Brown. That's his saying. I love it.
It's very exciting.
So very.
Do you want to talk any more on that front, Stephen, at all?
No, I think
obviously-
that's good. I know everybody's waiting patiently to see the footage.
All right, Joe,
And
from-
Está hablando, le dice la pava, ¿quieres seguir hablando de esto? Y dice el Steven, no, sé que todo el mundo está esperando el footage, ¿no? Las cosas nuevas.
And I was so sad, but the second one's okay. But what we're gonna do after this, I just want to let you know, I'm gonna try to go through and do a little bit broader recording, obviously in 4K again, and we'll upload that to YouTube hopefully tonight or tomorrow. I'm not going to edit or cut anything. I just want to do another take and kind of explain a little bit more about the mechanics of the sieging and stuff. But what you guys are about to view now is one of the raid bosses that's in the siege zone. So as you know,
Ese es
we're
un raid
talking
boss que está en la
about,
zona de
porting
asedio.
over the siege code out of APOC into MMO proper, and Alex has been doing an amazing job on that front. And the design team, I think Corey Rice and Chang and Chris Justo, each of them had a dragon to work on, right? There was the fire, the frost, and the forest dragon. And
Dicen que
three of
cada
these
uno
are
trabaja
scaled
en
up
uno,
and they're, built
de
for
fuego,
larger
de
raids as
hielo y
part of
de
that
bosque,
siege
dragones.
Zone. So
La zona de
I'm going to
asedio.
explain a little bit about this in the video that I record again after the stream today and put up on YouTube in a little bit more detail. But keep in mind, obviously,
Dicen que subirán
preface,
un vídeo a
this
YouTube
is still
con más
a
información.
work in progress. This is the alpha. This
Recuerda
stuff,
otra vez
will
que
get
está en proceso, es una alfa.
better smoothed out and polished, and bugs will be fixed and whatnot. But it'll give you an early look, at least, of what some players can expect from a raid perspective with some of these large bosses.
And of course, this live stream will also be on YouTube, so you'll have more content. It's
Double content.
Double. All right, I'm gonna pop over then that video, and we'll see you all in about 16, 17 minutes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another 4K stream inside the Ashes of Creation Alpha 1
Las monturas.
world.
Por cierto, el puto HUD que están poniendo me encanta. Muy simple. Muy simple, pero genial.
Oh my god. It matches your Plague Doctor.
I know. I had to. Sorry. Just kidding.
Las monturas me encantan, tío.
Look how beautiful this is.
Yay. We also have with us
Creo que hay monturas que no habíamos visto todavía. Estas dos de ciervos creo que no lo habíamos visto. La de la tortuga sí. Ah, no, la del ciervo que lleva Steven tampoco. Era el zorro sí.
How's it going, everyone?
Yay. I see you're on a fox, Peter.
Yeah, this thing looks awesome. I absolutely love it.
I saw the effects for that. I think people will get to see it soon, but we don't have it on right now. But there's a lot of fire around that fox.
It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, yeah,
also, the community was summoning.
Creo que estamos como en el pantano este. El pantano este con un montón de
We also have with us one of our
hongos
glorious
gigantes.
programmers, Mr. Alex Kudoli, aka Slurpee.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, buddy. How you doing?
Es que, tío, el puto juego se ve también. Y el HUD me encanta.
Working hard.
O sea, antes era como más estrambótico y muy rimbombante, ¿no? Muchas cosas. Pero ahora es tan nítido, sencillo, te enteras de lo que te tienes que enterar y ya está. Y es que eso me encanta, sin florituras, sin detalles, sin más, ¿sabes? Solo info, tío.
Good, good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're excited to see your dragon.
Me too.
So for those of you who don't know, we're going to be going through a little raid here just to show you guys what to look forward to in Alpha 1, what you'll be seeing. This is a dragon that was designed by Mr. Justo, and it has some pretty fun mechanics. The character team did a great job with the actual model. Animations look great. The effects team did a great job, and it has some fun mechanics.
Vamos a ver.
As far as I understand, Chris, this is probably not something that we as 5 people can take on.
No, we definitely will die horrible deaths if we try and do it ourselves.
So what do you think? We need like, what, 40 to 60 people?
That's a good rough number.
Nice.
Están diciendo que se necesitan como unas de 40 a 60 personas para montar este
By the
bicho.
way, it is currently 11 a.m. We have had the absolute most difficult time recording this footage this morning. Last night...
I'm having an internal struggle.
It's okay. I know we have the stream starting in about 43 minutes, so we're gonna go through this, and we're gonna see you guys on stream here in a little bit. But the last recording ended up not actually recording, and Margaret's power went out, and it's just been...
I've never experienced that before, where your whole house just resets. It was crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Well, what do you guys say we actually see if we can call some friends in to help us with this?
Como veis, estoy traduciendo solo lo importante, porque obviamente hablan mucho.
All right, well, maybe we should see if our friends actually come in. Hold on, let's not totally aggro it yet. You want to talk a
El
little
modelo
bit
es
about mechanics,
increíble.
boss?
Yeah, so he is very area denial focused, so he leaves behind a bunch of poison puddles that
Dice que
things
deja
can soak
venenos.
up, or he can soak up, and he tries to basically shun you out of the raid.
Te intenta expulsar de la raid,
And
dicen.
there's 2 other dragons in this siege zone as well, correct?
Yeah, there is a fire dragon that Corey made, and an ice dragon that Chong made.
Nice. I'm very excited. Very excited to see it in action.
People
Vamos a
really
ver.
like the ice dragon look. Like the
Me
area.
encanta el modelo me parece una
Is
locura.
awesome. I'll probably run over there and show people. I see some of our raid members coming. Are they ready to participate? Chris, I think you have the go-ahead to start tanking, my friend.
All
All
right,
right, I'll
let's
keep
go.
you up, or try to.
And just for the streams,
No tiene las
purposes,
armas.
I'm not going to be too heavy in the play. I'm trying to get some good footage for you all so that you can see.
Vale.
I'm gonna support Chris with some mana.
Nice. I can give him some heal. There you go. All right, you're building up
What
hate
the
on it
fuck,
right
qué
now,
armas más
Chris?
raras.
You know it.
You let us know when you want us to start fighting. Oh
Vale.
my gosh.
Ahí vemos las piscinas de veneno.
Where's our raid?
See the reinforcements.
Vale.
Oh, are they here? Nice.
Vale, aquí está viniendo la peña.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
you're
how
so
did I
good.
die?
Que supone que son
Oh, you were out of my
Alpha
Oh,
testers.
no.
El Steven da,
Hold on.
O sea, el Steven se ha muerto.
You're like behind a rock.
Oh,
Do you need me to res you?
somebody doesn't
Okay.
have a shirt on. Clayton. Yeah, if you could res me, that'd be great.
I gotta get out of combat. Okay, I'm resing you.
All right.
Steven es un poco malardo, Siempre que juega el cabrón es muy cojo, tío.
Oh my god. I'm gonna,
Try to heal you
guys,
up.
I'm gonna, oh, and I'm dead.
Oh, I just healed you.
That's
Murió
Put
otra vez.
on gear.
Apoteósico.
Oh, yeah, you might not have gear.
Yes, I will put on gear. Hold on.
Okay, I got your heals.
Me encanta el modelo. Las,
I apologize for cheating, everybody.
las
I had to. I gotta
habilidades-
get footage for you.
las animaciones de habilidades se ven un poco rusty todavía, ¿no? Un poco
Oh, this guy
oxidadas.
looks great, though.
Es
Don't
normal,
stand
pero el
behind
modelo
the
se
rock
ve
so that
increíble.
everyone can't see you. It won't let me heal you.
So what's he shooting at us, Chris?
Balls of poison.
And if we stand in the poison?
You will get
You die.
plenty of poison stacks and die.
Oh
Vale,
my
el
God.
veneno
Well,
va
I
por
can try to heal you
stacks.
through it,
Contra
but-
más stacks pilles, más daño te hace.
Oh no.
Vale.
Oh, it
Don't
knocked
get
us
hit
back.
by that.
Can we jump to avoid that?
Yes, you can.
Oh,
Vale,
sweet.
esta de esto tienes que saltarla para
Oh, I jumped
evitarla.
way too early. Okay, I was out of range.
O sea, esa habilidad.
Oh,
Tienes que saltarla para evitarla.
Oh, I made it.
Steven se queda en medio por alguna razón.
I think he's standing on. Oh shoot! See if we can grab him, move him over.
Oh no, the poison.
I'm trying to
It's
heal you.
everywhere.
Oh wow! So he shoots up a bunch of those poison puddles, huh?
Vale, tira las
Yeah,
de esto,
you
se
can
ve bien en
target
el
up to
suelo.
16 players with that.
Eso está bien.
Alright, he's about halfway down.
Okay, nice.
Hostia, está a punto de tirarlo, Holy shit.
I gotta get close to get mana.
Me gusta mucho, o sea, creo que esto es como... Ponía 10 plus, así que doy por hecho que alguien que 60 players de nivel 10 lo pueden tirar. Y esto es muy interesante porque hace que los low player levels también puedan hacer cosas. Que no todo sea endgame. Eso es muy bueno.
Oh no. It's the poison waves again.
Bueno, Steven al final se ha cansado, ha cogido la puta montura voladora.
See if I can.
Que no habrá monturas voladoras en el juego, habrá como 10 por servidor, ¿vale? Las monturas voladoras serán para X alcaldes de Metrópolis y para los 5 Guild Masters de los castillos. De los 5 castillos del juego. Ya explicaremos más en detalle, ¿vale? Haré un vídeo de ello, así que no os preocupéis.
My gosh, Steven.
Wow. El modelo mola mucho. Es muy bueno que estemos en una alfa y no se esté lagueando. Y
It's at about 10%.
más que se esté lagueando, que no se esté petando el servidor. Que el servidor no está explotando con una pelea de unas 40, 60 personas, no sabemos las que hay. Y es muy bueno. Es muy, muy bueno.
Yeah.
Me gusta ver que va tan bien.
Yeah, someone's using the mage abilities.
El boss parece que se ha cansado. A ver la animación de morir.
Nice.
Y ahora cae.
Yeah,
Seguro.
that's great.
Ahí estamos.
Ooh, I was able to keep you up.
Muy chula.
Very
Vamos a ver.
cool. Does he have loot on him?
If he did, he doesn't have it anymore.
I see people in chat yelling, "Where's my loot?"
That's nice. All right, let's take flight if we can as a group. I want to take a look at the couple other dragons and kind of explain a little bit about the siege zone. So, Alex, you've been working on actually porting over all
Dice
of
que
the siege
quieren-
code from APOC over to MMO proper.
Yeah, correct.
Dice que quieren ir a ver los otros dos dragones.
Yeah,
Que
sure.
está en una zona de asedio,
Yeah,
by the way,
I've been working hard, basically carrying over APOC Siege Manager, APOC Siege Vehicles.
Dice que
Also
ha estado
control
trabajando,
points,
el desarrollador que está hablando dice que ha estado trabajando
Ashes.
muy duro
It's been an
en todo el
easier,
código de programación y tal.
way easier now because we already have all the code written. It's just we have to have some adjustments, small adjustments within our Ashes code base. That's why it make it so
¡Oh,
we can make it
Dios!
for some time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's definitely a lot of work, but it's good that a lot of that code is already there in APOC and able to port it over. Obviously, you guys can see there's a little castle there. It's not quite finished yet. This area isn't totally done. Here's one of the other dragons in the.
Están hablando que este castillo no está terminado y que esta área realmente no está terminada, ¿vale?
Decide whether or not. Ooh,
Wow.
I think it just aggroed me.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Está bien,
Hopefully it
o
doesn't
sea,
go crazy. I am in the air. I don't know what
el diseño del dragón es como parecido pero de fuego, y mientras que el otro era como de
Oh, I see
bosque,
there's
¿vale?
some six down there.
Está guay
It's my natural habitat with my fox.
porque se supone que son el mismo tipo de dragón, solo que de elemento diferente. Pero luego, como podemos ver, pues el pavo este que está enfrente ahora mismo, pues tiene otro tipo de dragón, que no sé si es un hiberno o algo así raro, no
Should
sé.
I try and see?
No,
Let's
no,
see.
no, probably not. I don't know.
Pero me gusta, ¿no? Son como los dracos del WoW, cada uno de un color, son recolors, pero con más cosas, ¿sabes? Realmente me mola. O sea, no creo que los modelos hayan de ser muy diferentes.
Perfect for you.
Realmente me gusta.
Okay, it's moving back. But as you guys can
No
see, there's,
confunden
you
al
know,
player.
this dragon obviously,
Sabes que es un dragón de
when
fuego, pero
players
que
decide whether or not they want to engage with
su
one of these
hermano
dragons,
de
you know, they're making a
bosque pues
decision
está
on
ahí, ¿no?
behalf of their
Está guay.
team, to kind of take the risk, but there's a reward obviously during the siege. If you do down one of the bosses, your team does get a pretty significant buff.
¡Oh, my God!
It
Vale,
can
están
definitely
explicando
be
que
worth
estos
the
bosses
risk.
que hay alrededor de la zona de
And
asedio
what is this dragon?
sirven para
He
tener
has
bufos en
a
el asedio.
really scary rage mechanic where if you're
Wow.
not dealing with some of his other mechanics, he will just start one-shotting people.
Oh my
Están hablando que tiene una mecánica de one
Yeah, I
shot.
saw he had like a fire
Wow,
dragon
eso es
he
muy
was
interesante lo de los bufos, tío. Que si
using.
matas
That
a un
was
puto raid
relatively
boss,
concerning.
tienes el
Oh, it looks
bufo
like he's, like,
para
raging
luego
inside
el
the
asedio.
zone.
Muy interesante, tío.
I just like how he stares at me, right into my soul.
I know. I like his little tongue that kind of sticks out. But the good thing is, like, each of these bosses, players have access to, they have all obviously different mechanics. They have different strengths and weaknesses, and it's on the part of the players kind of to determine that. Oh my gosh! Oh no!
Oh no.
Why do you get so mad? We're just looking at him.
Just wants to get a little toasty.
He's a little
Creo que
Oh,
este
look at
no
him.
está tan bien
Oh, I
terminado.
like that.
Porque si os fijáis
He's
tienen como
so
40.000 de vida,
What
mientras
is
que el otro
that?
tenía
Oh, that's not
400.000.
easy.
No! No!
Esta puede que sea la mecánica de one shot.
I resisted it. Oh, it's doing a little bit of damage.
That looks cool from my perspective. It was
That's
like a
funny.
giant ball of fire.
He threw a little like meteor at me. What are these?
Oh, bye.
Whoa! Let's go over to the frost area.
Vale,
Are
vale.
those, like, mirror
Esa es
images?
otra mecánica del boss.
Yes.
Me gusta, se ven los bosses con muchas
Alright,
mecánicas,
here we go.
tío.
So
They
this-
will actually one-shot you.
Oh, no.
O sea, son bosses que al
This
final son
dragon over
sencillos, no
here,
son bosses
he
que
brought
básicamente son para
the
conseguir
weather
bufos
with
en el
him.
asedio. O sea, que tiene que tener mecánicas, pero tampoco
Go down into
cosas
the
muy
area.
locas, ¿sabes? Está bien. Me mola.
And I'm on the ground. I'm on the ice.
Joder, 5 de daño tú, en la caída.
Little slippy slidey.
Yeah. Oh, it's like, I love the
Wow,
weather
tío,
effects.
el hielo del
Got a little
suelo
bit
se
of,
ve
like,
increíble,
Blizzard
tío.
haze going on.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Wow, se ve increíble, tío. Me encantan las texturas del
Some
juego.
snow. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, a lot of people like
Uf.
this one.
Este sí que está
The
terminado,
ultimate
pero este
dragon
tiene 4
of
millones de vida.
So now what are
Holy
this guy's
shit.
mechanics? Just the general
So
gist.
he has some slows that he does, and he can freeze people in blocks of ice.
Dice que hace
and they are very
slow,
bad against them.
bloquea gente en bloques de hielo.
You the tanks even now.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh whoa.
Oh,
What was that?
Ouch.
Whoa.
I don't know, but
Those
Oh
will
my
I don't
gosh.
like it.
Vale, daño.
Oh no.
So he has a lot of.
Oh my god, I think he's coming for me because
AoE.
I was healing you.
Yeah, he's gonna make you dance around.
Now does he
I
like
dodged him.
freeze people too?
Yes. So you get frozen, and then he does things that make you have to dance. So if you're frozen, you're out of luck.
Oh, that guy's pretty cool. That's very cool. So to give you guys a little quick rundown of kind of how sieges are going to work in Alpha 1, obviously they're not going to be what the end goal is for sieges, but they'll be a representation kind of those core mechanics. So players will have
Está
the
hablando
ability
de
to kind of
los
register.
asedios.
Excuse me. They'll have the ability to join a guild, and guilds will have the ability to register for the sieges on a daily basis. These sieges are going to take place.
Vale, las
daily. There'll be
guilds
3-hour
son las
long
que se
events. We
apuntan a los
obviously want this
asedios.
during Alpha 1 so that we can, utilize that from a density and performance perspective, collect metrics on it. It's very important for us to have, that data. And it's gonna
Me
be
gusta este
100
modelo,
versus
pero
100 players to start.
o sea, me mola, ¿no?
Attackers
Está como
versus
modificado, pero
defenders,
creo que el que
and
más me
there'll
gusta
be
es
a
el de
victory
bosque, la verdad.
mechanic inside the castle that attackers will have to achieve through kind of casting on this relic. And then when the victors are determined at the end of the day, they will have access in the open world for them to interact with a steward at the castle and get some goodies because they won that fight that day. And then also, one other important note, there are some resources in this area, some unique resources in this area during the siege that you can try to gather. They are
Vale, durante el
not
asedio
super abundant, but
hay
they are
recursos
necessary,
especiales.
in order to craft some of
Solo
the
se pueden
top-end
obtener durante el
gear during
asedio.
the alpha. So obviously, it goes without saying,
Y que
have to
después
get
del
a
asedio tú podrás
standard,
ir al castillo de la guilda y habrá un
kind
mayordomo
of
que te dará
disclaimer. This is our
un
first
bonus, ¿no?
alpha. Things are still a major work in progress, but we're excited. Oh, that's cool. You have like a little bone strider.
Hostia, la montura esa.
That's funny.
De
Get a
hueso.
rhino.
Oh, look at that. How cool. Don't break through the ice.
Es un rinoceronte.
Oh yeah.
Ah, me encanta que haya un montón de monturas.
But anyways,
Yo soy
guys,
muy
hope
fan
you
de
guys
coleccionar
enjoyed
monturas.
this real quick look, the fun little stuff we're doing for Alpha 1. We're excited to get you guys in and show off some footage in May and in June, and keep you guys a part of the process as we move forward in the development of Ashes of Creation. We will see you all back on stream here in just a second. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Later, guys.
Oh, look at the fire dragon over here. And we're back.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Yay.
That was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, that was great. I'm so sad that the first recording didn't work. It was so the you guys noticed there's a little bug at the end of the dragon fight where he got stuck in his behavior tree and wasn't doing some actions at the end. There's a little bug we're
Lo
gonna
hemos
fix,
notado.
but it wasn't in the first
Dice que
recording
en la
or the first
primera raid, al que han
recording,
matado al
so I was
dragón,
like,
el
darn it,
dragón al
it
final se ha
came
quedado
the
un poco
second.
bugueado, no hacía nada.
It's okay, it
Lo hemos
happens,
podido ver,
man.
lo hemos podido observar.
Yeah.
Let's see if this plays for us in the background. Yay, cool. I'll just kind of have it in the background. I didn't really see a ton of questions in chat. It seemed like most people were really excited that they loved seeing the progression and the changes that have come along the way. Is there anything else that you two feel like you want to address on that front? If not, let's talk a little bit about Alpha 1 and your progress towards Alpha 1 and what you guys have been working towards.
Let's see. So I don't think there's anything more. Like Steven covered everything pretty well in that siege video. Obviously, there's a lot more work we need to do to tidy it up and get it all cleaned up and put in a bow ready for Alpha 1. But I mean, I think it's pretty cool already. So we're pretty stoked about where we're at. We have been working on mostly a lot of content for Alpha 1. Obviously, like as Steven said, like this is not going to be the game, but we also want to make sure that people have plenty of things to do while they're in the game, faces to have, get that sort of like
Están repitiendo lo mismo, ¿no?
preliminary Ashes of Creation experience.
las
And to do
alfas.
that, we need to have a lot of content for that. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're wrapping a lot of things up. I think there's like over 200 quests or so in the game right now. There's a bunch of dungeons. We've kind of retooled all of the boss fights. those dragons that you see in the Siege are actually in the world, part of the open world too. They'll be a slightly different. There's some extra mechanics in the Siege versions versus the ones that are in the world. But there's plenty
Dice
of
que
cool
estos
things to
dragones
get on both
también
of
están en
them,
el mundo,
so make
¿sabes?
sure
Que
you check
no
them
son
out and
solo
hunt
de
them
los
down.
asedios, pero con menos
There
mecánicas.
is
Los
also
de
some
los
cool
dragones de
things to
asedio son
discover.
más
We've worked on
difíciles.
trying to like make sure there's, for those of you who like to explore like me, that there's lots of cool things you can kind of like uncover and look under rocks and get exposed to some stuff that you might not have seen before. So again, not to like, not to say this is going to be the finished game, but there's still going to be a lot of cool stuff to find and a lot of cool gameplay to experience. So yeah, it's just us trying to wrap this stuff all up and make sure that it's ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. And then yesterday I had a great review with Taylor Pope and Corey Rice on the design team for itemization changes that are going to be present in Alpha 1. I think there's like 49 unique sets that people can craft, find,
De
quest,
momento
drop,
hay
that are
49
gonna be
sets
present in
metidos.
progression from 1
Han
to
dicho que tienen
15.
49 sets metidos, unos
They're
cuantos
gonna-
daños, 200 misiones.
Yes.
Todo esto
Oh,
para
for
el
sure,
alfa.
for sure.
Uno,
So just
está
to be
bien.
clear, the
De momento.
crafting system and the
No.
resource system that's present in Alpha 1 is only presented in a way that represents the core gameplay loop of crafting, resource gathering, and
Dice que
items.
todo lo
This
mostrado
is
en el
not
Alpha
gonna
1
be representative of
es
what, obviously,
meramente
Ash's
una
crafting
muestra de
system
lo
will be.
básico,
We didn't have
básico
time
de todos
to
los
put that
sistemas
into
de
Alpha 1,
craft,
but we
de
did want to
mazmorras,
represent that
de
aspect of
bosses,
gameplay.
de todo.
But they've done a great job in, I think, making a compelling case from a progression standpoint for players to kind of pursue in the game as a chase.
Also, keep in mind those 49 sets are not 49 unique looks; they're 49 sets. So
Yep.
you'll see similar looks across different sets,
Yep.
geared toward different types of stat distribution. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, obviously, we have to share looks across that data, that different game mechanics that we're going to associate stats and power values with. But the character team, obviously we have a lot of work ahead of us for actual sets, so we share some of those appearances.
Just for
but
the
no,
alpha, right? Primarily
absolutely.
At the moment, yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Just to clarify for people who might be confused.
Yep. But yeah, no,
De hecho,
everything,
esto de los sets,
everything's coming
cada uno con
together.
su apariencia
Still
única y
a
tal.
lot of bug fixing and some optimization to do over these next few weeks. But things are coming together good. Everybody's doing a great job on the team.
Yay. And of course, we know you guys have a lot of questions and things of that sort in regards to other things, which we will be getting into in our Q&A segment. But we're going to move on over to our environment stuff, if you guys are cool with that.
I'm cool with it.
All right, let's move on over.
Bueno, van a
On
ir
the
con
environment
el
front, we have so many cool images. So to start us off, I'm
con
going to show some concept
imágenes
art that the team
artísticas
has been working on.
del
which,
ambiente.
some of these you've seen different versions of, or like not final.
Esto es
and then,
como
of
de
course,
Nikwa.
some of these are completely new ones, but a lot of jungle area oriented things, because guess what? You're going to be seeing some jungle action.
It's the tropics.
The tropics.
The tropics.
The
and jungle are
tropics,
actually
el
separate
trópico.
biomes.
Dios, me
Yep.
encanta este tipo de villa,
So
tío,
some
así
of
en la
the,
selva.
which ones of these
Mola
are
muchísimo.
the jungle versus tropics here? I think the first two.
This is all
I think
tropics.
these are all
Tropics,
tropics. So
okay.
jungle
Except for this.
biomes are a little bit different. But
which
yeah.
we've
Me
shown
está explicado
some
que hay un bioma
previously of the
trópico y otro
jungle
que se llama
biome.
bioma de
It's-
jungle,
They should have
jungla.
all been tropics, actually, I think.
Oh.
We haven't touched the jungle biome yet. So everything you're seeing, even though there incorporates jungle in the sense of the word, like, this kind of canopy or tropic driven, like jungle appearance, it's actually, from a biome perspective, it's a separate type of biome than what the jungle will be. which is
Están
different.
hablando de dos tipos de bioma que serán
Wow.
uno trópico y
Lots
otro la
of smaller
jungla.
stuff then.
Serán dos diferentes.
But we've got a lot of cool stuff, and our concept team just does amazing work. And we're going to be showing some in-game screenshots of some of the other stuff that has been worked out. So next up here, I've got. Oh, I need to switch to the scene. There we go.
Aquí viene lo
Some
interesante,
objects
¿sabes?
that they've been working on, and a whole slew of them here. Amazing pieces. I think some of these are for the crypt area. that's
Yeah,
being worked
there's
on.
going to be a new, for those of you who have played in one of our previews, there's been a big revamp of that starting area. We've got a new dungeon there, and these are some of the pieces that you'll see.
Han
around that
dicho que han
dungeon.
añadido una nueva daño en la starting area.
And what about the ships? There's like little boats and stuff of that sort that are added.
There's a whole lot of water in this in this area, and pirates have taken up residence in a lot of it. There's a lot of hidden coves, a lot of hidden caves, and you'll see sort of their evidence of their existence in these places.
Okay.
And all of those points of interest, you know,
Todas estas
many
imágenes que
of them
estamos viendo son
obviously
como de
level up
cripta,
with
están
the
diciendo.
nodes as the nodes
Una
progress as
cripta
well.
enana, parece ser.
So you'll see
De
you know,
los
new
Tunir,
NPCs
seguramente.
spawn and even even some additional
Es
props
muy
added
realista
as
este.
like
New structures sometimes.
exactly.
Es muy realista.
Oh my god, I thought I told Bacon to take those out.
You don't like those spider women?
No.
Those are part of another one. Another new dungeon.
And
Es
then,
un
of
trono
course, well, you got a sneak peek of
Empyrean o
another
Kyler,
dungeon that you weren't
maybe.
supposed to. And then we have the throne room stuff that they've been working on, which you're going to get to see an in-game screenshot of as well, which is phenomenal.
Es que las texturas de
Ooh,
juego son
and,
otro
on
nivel,
to
tío.
those, actually, which are the in-game screenshots.
Esto es in-game.
which Just awesome. So we have Goblin
my
Camp,
God.
I believe.
Yep.
Este es un campamento
Yeah,
goblin.
Yeah, so if you saw those concept art pieces before, this is the actual like place, which looks almost identical to the concept art. It's pretty amazing.
And then we
Sí,
have
sí,
the
o sea,
hotbed,
dice
which is
el
a
pavo,
node.
¿no? El rubito.
Which will be renamed. That's not its official name.
Que el
just
el
the
arte
turtle.
era igual que el
Hotbed.
in-game, tío, y era cierto, tío.
It's so
Este es
evil.
como
It's a
el
very
bioma este
corrupted area, which
de como
we
rocas
walked through
saliendo.
in our
We did.
previous live stream. So if you want to
That's
see
correct.
us walking around in there,
De hecho, aquí
they've
estuvieron
been
en el
working on
pasado
more
live stream,
lighting,
que es lo que están diciendo.
stuff. So this kind of showcases a lot of what they've
Yeah.
been working on in textures.
And this is also pushing it even further. So you saw it before, it was kind of like about like a 75% done. These are shots of it being completely done. So we're in the process of populating this out right now.
Next month, you'll get to see them filled with population, right? Because the design is
Should be,
in
yeah.
that part, yeah.
Well, it better be done next one.
Yeah, that's true. And then these are some new trees that have been added. We have they just keep adding amazing stuff. And this is the throne room. Just wow. You probably saw some of the concept art that we had of it. Now look at the in-game. Just
Where do we see this throne room?
This is the new character creator.
Is that the first time I showed that? Maybe I
Oh.
saw it. I
Maybe.
saw the
Es
concept.
la creación de personaje,
It
ese
looks
trono.
Oh, that's the new character
Wow, me
creator room?
encanta, tío,
Well,
esta
that's the
zona de
new
jungla
character
trópico,
stable
como la quieran
area.
llamar.
So, previously, I think it was a little encampment, and now
Mhm.
we've switched over to the throne room.
Ooh. Well, you guys get to see that. I didn't know that. That's not in the build that I got to see. And I think the last one I have here is some ocean buoyancy stuff. Do know
Oh my
that
God.
this footage is just to show off that primarily. So when they're on the ship, you can kind of see how it's moving and the ocean's moving up with them. And this boat
Nada, el agua se
kinda
ve
has a little bit of
increíble.
hole in the bottom of it, so you can see the
Eso primero.
water
Aquí se foguea.
comes in there and you can
Vale.
see how it is when
Vale,
there's
vale.
in it too. I know, that's all this
Don't
video
drown.
That's fun.
shows. Don't drown.
That's
Focus
where,
on the
that's
buoyancy.
where you keep your fish. When you catch your fish, you throw them in there.
I don't think you're going to get very
Shit.
far on that ship.
It's magic, Margaret. It's magic.
Okay, it's magic. I'm sorry. That's true. You could have a magical boat. I'll give you that. Okay. That gives me an idea for like a fish tank at the bottom of the. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, you
we
can't
have
tell where
to.
the bottom begins and the ocean starts. That's great.
Yeah, like so you can see under. That'd be sick. All right, I got ideas. New items.
I love the new ocean shader and the tide
The tide when
mechanics.
it comes in. Yeah.
Nada,
Mhm.
es lo que
So
estaba
it's
diciendo el
cool.
Steven, que le encantan las
on,
shaders,
but that's
cómo se
Our
ve todo el
artists
océano
over on
y
the
sobre todo el
environment side
movimiento
have
de
been
las
just
olas.
doing phenomenal
Parece
work. A lot of what you see, their
jodidamente
work
épico
is
el
also
movimiento de
in
las
the
olas.
design
Mirarlo, tío.
video. I mean, all of our teams
Dios.
cohesively work together, so you're
Es
getting to see
súper
a lot of those updates.
realista,
And of
tío.
course, I
Mola
know a lot of
mucho.
people have seen some of the character stuff.
Oh.
So first and foremost, I think I actually started this at the wrong one. So you get a little sneak peek of
Oh,
this
yes,
one,
this is my
which is the
favorite.
guys of the Withered Woods, which I think Steven gave a little sneak peek of.
I
in
did.
the
It was
past.
early.
It was not
Yes.
done, so now you can see the more final. And this is a 3D model. Like,
This is
if you
not a
look at the
concept.
concept versus this, it's wow. Our team is amazing. My edgy witch vibes. I made this one specifically for McP, and obviously Jeff gave me the go ahead to make like a witchy set. but I know McP loves his witch vibe stuff. Moving on, we have our colonial set, which I believe is part of one of the Kickstarter packages. So you're starting to see more of those.
I think this was the Boston PAX
Yes.
unique
okay.
set. Yeah, so only people who got this during the PAX, during the, I can't remember what it's called, PAX East, have this one.
But there will be variants of kind of
Yeah.
utilizing this cloth and the style that you'll see in the game as well. And of course, NPCs in the world, which I'm sure Jeff will have fun with. Him and his team will have fun with. Moving on from there, people's favorite sets. I think this is one of the sets that people really loved, the Face of Sorrow. Here you can see it on the different models, you know, dwarf versus human, I think that is.
So
That's a good guess.
edgy.
Very edgy.
Me
Very
gusta.
pointy.
Se ve bien en el enano, ¿eh? O sea, se ve bien en el
And then
enano.
we actually have the sword that was in the concept art. Now you don't get the sword, but our artist got really inspired and made the sword, or the sword and the kind of staff. So those will be weapons that will be in the game as well that you can achieve.
Yes, those will be in-game achievable weapons.
And then we also have the turntable, so you can see the 3D model. I mean, that was a 3D model, a screenshot of them, but showing you the T-pose of the 3D model of it, so you can kind of see it. This doesn't have particle effects, so keep that in mind. Doesn't quite have particle effects yet. T-pose is always makes me giggle. And
Se ve
then
muy
we
bien
have
este set.
the Fathom Veil, which I always say this is one of my favorite items to design because I've never seen anything like it before. And I was trying to explain it to an artist, which is like, I want an octopus, but a cloak. And I could not find anything out there that's like that. So it's not quite,
Asqueroso,
I don't think this, I think this is a
pero
work in
sirve
progress,
como
so it's
ítem.
not finished
Está guapo.
yet, but
No, it's not finished yet.
I wanted to share it. So you'll get to see this progress in the future as we get further along.
It'd be great if there was like an associated social action that the player can do where the tentacles come alive and move around a little bit.
Oh, creepy. But
I know.
Maybe if you go into like, never mind, I can't say that because people don't know about that yet. Never mind. All right.
When you get in the water? Oh, when you get in the water. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or the water. That's a good idea. So this is the Shatter Claw. This is the mount. Again, work in progress, not finalized. But you can see that. And I believe I have a turntable of this as well, so you can see the 3D model.
Es como un perro carcomido por la corrupción. Un perro lobo.
Yikes.
Da asco.
That abdominal region is.
Y esa es la intención de la montura, que nos dé
Yeah,
asco.
see
Y
right
da
through
asco.
it.
I mean, that's
What's
what
our
it's designed.
ESRB rating?
Pretty sure. Like G or something?
Maybe, yeah.
Everyone?
I think we're trying to aim for as many people as possible. But, and then we have shown the Still Soul stuff before, but now you're kind of seeing it on all the different races here. A little bit more polished, finalized. Previous we showed off the work in progress in some other
Qué chulo set.
streams. But I always like to kind of show you guys the progression of
Qué set más guapo. Mostraron
items.
todas las razas. Bueno,
Obviously, we
faltan
don't want
dos.
to show you all the
Faltan
stuff you're going to
tres
achieve
modelos aquí,
in-game,
de
but
hecho.
we do give you little teasers here and there of them.
I like the dwarven versions. They're just like minis.
And then this is the T-pose 3D model, so you can see it.
Se ve muy bien este set.
Little mini ones, I know. They're so cute. It makes them, I don't know. I think it's funnier when they're running around, too. A little evil.
This guy's chonky. This armor set's chonky.
It is.
Well,
It's true plate.
I was going for that almost like
Esto es de
Death
placas,
Knight
placas,
vibes,
dicen.
but like icy Death Knight. Hopefully it goes across or comes across that way. And the Titan Bark set. This was my first that I ever designed. It's so cool seeing it come to fruition. Here you can
Muy
see
chulo.
it on the little guy as well.
Muy, muy chulo. Lo muestran todo siempre en un modelo humanoide y luego en un modelo de enano. Para que se vea que en los diferentes tamaños queda bien.
And of
Me
course,
gusta
that's a
eso.
work in progress, not finalized yet.
Y se ve
Steven
bastante guay.
tweeted this and shared it out, and people were losing their minds over it. This
Esta
is
montura me encanta.
the Flail
Oh,
Runner.
yeah. Flail Runner.
It's so good. It's so
Yeah,
good.
Jincy did a great job with this.
Can we clone Jincy? Can we just like make clones?
I would love if we had like a cloning machine and we could just clone many people.
Yeah, actually, we could clone many of our people. I'm with you on that. But this is so cool. Very, very cool. This next one is a little interesting. If you saw our geode guy, I know it probably looks weird here because you can't see it animating, so the tentacle bits are kind of down. But here is a work in progress of our geode homie.
Oh, yeah.
Se te ataca mientras minas.
This is a Steven
Imagino,
design.
¿no?
Was that a Steven design?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I was working here
Oh,
when
yeah,
I
you're right.
designed this set. I remember because
The
we
animators
hay
are
peligros
What are
mientras
you
minas.
We were arguing about color, and this is where I learned that you
Hola.
have a different, like, you have a color.
Creo que será de cueva esto, ¿no?
Yeah, color blindness.
Probablemente.
Because I was like, oh, I really like the brighter color, and you were like, no, I like this one. It was very interesting
O sea,
conversation.
esto está metido bajo la tierra, imagino, ¿no? Por las raíces que
and
tiene.
then here is the turntable of that.
A lo mejor sale fuera, ¿sabes? Mientras estás minando lore, y digamos que como te...
And I think
Te baitea, ¿no? Te
that
hace una
is-
trampa.
and that wraps us back up with the withering. So hopefully you got
Nice.
all of
Otra
those
vez con los pavos
Yeah.
estos. Este set es increíble, by the way.
I think that's it for all of our teams here, and we're going to move into Q&A segment.
Por
if y'all
cierto,
are ready.
este
Yeah,
set
just
me,
wanna-
me
just
gusta
wanna
muchísimo
say
con la
before we
clase
get
de
into that, obviously,
Necromancer.
Yeah, you guys out there, you get to see
Que es
these
la que yo quiero.
progress updates each month, but you know, just want to give a big kudos to the team. Obviously, this project takes a village, not a village. It takes a city, it takes a state, it takes a country to build. But it's obviously a great thing. We have such talented artists and designers and
Está hablando que bueno, un
engineers.
juego así
I'm
lleva
really
mucho
proud of the
trabajo,
team and
mucha
what
gente.
they've all come together to create. I think you guys are out there in the community as well. So just major hearts out to everyone on the Intrepid team. You know, this is bigger than any one person. It is all of us working together and committed to seeing this project, through
haciendo alabanzas al
and
proyecto,
delivering
a la
to you guys
gente,
out there
etcétera.
what we promised. And we appreciate all of you tuning in each month and watching these updates and just being with us every step of the way. It means a lot to us, and we love you all out there for it, and we love our Intrepid team 100%.
I mean, you see us three every month, but there's a whole slew of amazing people that are talented who are working endlessly and with all of their heart and soul and putting their heart and soul into this. So it is, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's very sweet, Stephen. Oh,
Aw.
and I love seeing all the hearts in chat.
Yeah, the hearts are really nice.
So cute. It's so nice. I was actually saying, I didn't talk about this during the studio update, but I did tell the PI folks this, is that we are planning in the studio to have a wall of fame where every month we swap out what's on that wall, which is all the amazing fan art that you guys send, all the positive words, so that when the design team and the development the whole development team walks by it, they get to see all of the amazing, nice, kind things you guys say. Because obviously my team is always in it. We're talking to you guys 24/7 as much as possible, and I hope that you see that on our social platforms, on our community platforms, that we're there and we're communicating, and you're not feeling like you're not heard. And if you feel that way, please message me, let me know, and I will try my best to find ways for us to make that more obvious. But the development team is working so hard. They don't have time to sit there and respond to all the forum posts, respond to social media. So they don't get to see that stuff. And I want to make sure that when they walk in every day, that they get to see all the kind and amazing things that you guys say to us, send to us. And we'll do our best to make sure that, that's shared across our team. Yeah. Oh. All right. I'm just too excited. We're going to move over to the Q&A. Q&A! And I just-
Ahora vamos con las
Shout out
preguntas
to
y
Toast for going
respuestas.
through 1 million pages. Thank you. So our first question here, actually I think all of these are from the forums. T. Elf wants to know, and this is about announcements. When a node levels up, how far away will the notifications be broadcasted? Only in the node, or will they be worldwide?
Cuando un nodo avanza, ¿cuál es la gran... O sea, si se entera solo los vecinos o todo el mundo? Dice que depende de del tamaño del nodo, básicamente.
Yay! Ardanis wants to know, and this is about mercenary NPC specifically, what determines the power level of a mercenary NPC hired to defend a
¿Qué
caravan?
determina
Money
el
spent,
nivel de objeto de
node
un
level,
mercenario?
player level, or will it be something else?
It'll depend on a few things. So mercenary NPCs are provided to, if we're talking about caravans, are provided to
Vale,
nodes that
estamos hablando de
exist under a castle's
NPCs de
rule.
mercenarios que
Castles
sirven
have
para
the
contratar
ability
con
to
las
allocate
caravanas.
taxes collected from nodes under them towards certain benefits that go back to the node, or they can be more selfishly govern that treasury more towards the guild that owns it. And that obviously is going to have some political implications because it could, if you're not using it for the benefit of the people in the region, they might rise up and help and assist, kind of take you out from that position of owning that castle. But depending on what allocation is made by the castle can influence the level of mercenaries that are capable. And then
Vale,
at that
depende del
it's gonna be
castillo
on the,
que tenga
caravan
la zona de
owner's
influencia.
side to determine what amount of money they wish to
Pues
spend on those
serán
available
los
mercenaries.
el poder
And if we're
de
talking about
objeto, ¿no? De los
mercenaries
mercenarios.
during like node sieges or castle sieges, the node sieges are again going to be dependent a little bit on the castle that's governing them, and then the castle itself, those types of mercenaries will be dependent on how successful they are with the small castle nodes that surround the castle and have events that occur on the weekends preceding the siege event. So there's 3 nodes associated with each castle. In the 3 preceding weeks leading up to the week of the siege, there will be events on the weekend where the hosting guild and its allies have to kind of help build up through the use of caravans and quests those individual nodes around the castle, and then depending on their
Están hablando de los castillos de la guild, que tendrá castillos pequeñitos alrededor y que de esos dependen, o sea, y del castillo grande dependen los nodos alrededor.
Depending on how your testing goes, you might be like, a week is not enough, or
Oh yeah, as a general blanket policy, whenever I or anybody on the team is talking about designs and talking about what our intents are for the most part, these details get tested out in alphas and betas, and we take feedback, we take data, and general implementation obviously is incorporated in how we want to approach things going forward. So consider everything we talk about a caveat. This stuff is all subject to change, and obviously you guys are part of that change. So yeah.
Thank you for it. Our next
Están
question
hablando
is
de
from
que, bueno,
Diggs, and Diggs
se
wants to know about
necesitarán más
caravans.
info.
Does a driver lose 100% of their caravan goods upon caravan destruction, or are they also given an
Es decir, se pierden
opportunity
todos los
to
recursos que tú envías en una
recuperate some
caravana,
of the,
o
some of
algo
them
se
in the same
guarda.
way that others can by picking them up? So, like, if it's destroyed, can they like try to rush it and grab their stuff and run?
So first thing that happens is a portion of the goods in the caravan automatically sink. They're gone. And then the other portion of that is available through the wreckage that anybody can interact with and try
Vale,
to take
cuando te
from,
destruye una caravana,
including the defenders.
unos
But
recursos son
obviously, once that
automáticamente
wreckage
eliminados porque te
appears
los han
and there's stuff
destruido
in
y
that
los otros
wreckage,
son
it's gonna be a brawl,
looteables.
you know.
Plan, puede ir gente a
Because
cogerlos.
when you take something out of the wreckage, now you have it, that
Tú
resource
mismo
in your
también puedes
person.
cogerlo y
When
huir,
you die,
por
you also
ejemplo.
drop a portion of those resources as well. So it's like it's going to be a hungry hippos event of who can get the thing, and then it's going to be a people getting murked as they run away from the wreckage with their goods. So
Now I kind of want to do a thing where we have a caravan, we have like a goblet or something special, and we have to just figure out who gets it at the end of the
Bostecito que me llevo.
Whoever
yeah,
ends up
for
with
sure.
it at the end
And
wins
again,
something. It'd be a fun
the
event.
whole it would be a fun event. The whole concept behind that sense of material loss, it's important even from an economy standpoint that there are considerable sinks associated with opportunities. So the whole concept of a caravan and moving those goods is it's an opportunity on behalf that they're trying to capitalize on that caravan owner, and if they successfully achieve that,
Dice que están hablando que todo esto de que se pierda los ítems de las caravanas es necesario para crear el sistema este, ¿no? De riesgo versus premio.
Gets the adrenaline flowing for players, and it's a decision you have to make. It's an opt-in. Like, if I'm going to go for that reward, I understand that there's a risk associated with it, and I'm willing to take that risk because I think I can achieve the reward.
Perfect. Anything else you want to add to that, Jeff?
No, that pretty much covered it.
All right. Hydrum or Aram wants to know about naval combat. How do you initiate naval PvP combat, and how does it affect the entire crew's corruption
¿Cómo
status
comienzas un combate naval y cómo afecta a la tripulación?
I'm so sorry. I was reading something. I thought Trevor grabbed that.
It's a super good question.
Yeah.
What's the question? Read it
I'll
one
ask
more
it again. So, how do you initiate naval PvP combat, and how does it affect the entire crew's corruption status accordingly?
Got
¿Y
it,
cómo
understood.
funciona con el
So
sistema
there's
de
a few
corrupción?
ways that naval combat occurs, right? There are weapon platforms that will exist on each ship.
Vale.
And there
Los
will
barcos
need to
tienen
be an
armas,
operator for a weapons
como
platform.
cañones y
So
tal,
in that sense, when the
balistas.
operator initiates an attack against another ship, they
Y el
can
operador
either do
tiene
so
que
as a
atacar el
result
otro barco.
of an event like a guild war versus between those players. They can do so because they've moved into
Y
an area
empieza
that
un
has an
evento
event that
como
automatically
de
flags
Guild
players,
War, como
or
un
they
evento
can do
como
so
de
from an
guerra de
open world PvP
hermandades
perspective,
entre
which
ambos
utilizes a flagging
barcos.
system. So that would be kind of the three ways in which those things are happening. Also on the mechanic side, that it's not just guild wars. There could be a node war that's been declared. You could have PKers, that have corruption, and you can initiate a fight against them just fine. But those would be the ways that kind of happens.
All right. And Veras wants to know about crowd control. How will crowd control skills work on mounted players? Example, dismounting them.
Dice cómo
stunning
funcionarán
them,
las habilidades de
motivation, etc.
CC, de stun y eso,
Both. There
en
will
players
both
con
be
montura.
dismount abilities that can
Dice que habrán monturas
that
de...
can
O sea, que
kick a
habrán
player off the
habilidades de
mount.
desmontar gente.
In which case the mount would persist. Obviously, when you summon your mount, you are in the future. The intent is right now when you summon a mount, you
could
immediately
target the mount versus the player.
Exactly.
separately.
The mount has its own separate hit point pool. It has its own separate statistics with regard or stats with regards
La
to
montura
its defense mitigation
tiene
and
su
stuff like that.
propia vida, defensas y tal,
Right now,
¿sabes?
we don't have it where the mount is separate from the player per se. You automatically mount the mount when you summon it in the alpha, but in the future, you'll be able to summon it, and you won't have to automatically mount it. It'll just be standing next to you. It'll follow you around, and then you'll be able to mount it. And then there's also going to be effects that just stun the mount or stun you on the mount. Yeah.
And some mounts may have combat abilities too, depending on the mount.
All mounts will have certain types of abilities, whether those abilities are utility or
Dice que
sprint
todas
or
las
some type
monturas
of,
tienen
like, combat
habilidades, ya
charge
sean
through
de
that knocks
combate
down
o de
players or
utilidad.
something. It
Muy
just
interesante
depends on
esto.
the type of mount and the skills associated with that mount. That's also one component of the animal husbandry system is in
Y es
creating
que
these
es
mounts. You can have
un
unique skill
componente
sets
de la
associated with them.
profesión de
That
creación de
obviously
monturas.
creates an economy for mount types and puts some relevancy on the profession of animal husbandry to present unique mounts.
Perfect. And speaking of mounts, we're transitioning perfectly into our next question, which is from Mahez or Maze. I apologize again if I say you guys' names wrong. You're welcome to DM me on Discord and tell me how to pronounce it so that in the future when I see it, I pronounce it properly.
Incoming 5,000 DMs. Go ahead.
No. Luckily, I don't say that many people's names, so we don't be like 10, 15 people. But will I be able to summon a mount during combat? Is the
Dice, ¿se
question.
puede
Yes.
summonear?
Summon a mount.
¿Se puede invocar la
A
montura en
mount-
combate? Dicen que sí.
Yeah, exactly. A mount can be an initiation vehicle, it can be an escape vehicle, it can be a utility vehicle, it can be traversal. Right? Mounts have
Están diciendo
obviously
que las
many
monturas
different
pueden servir para
applications,
iniciar,
and
para
that's
escapar, de
also
utilidad,
going to speak
etcétera.
to its identity when it has a skill selection choice too, right? Like, are you more aggressive at initiation with your mount? Okay, well, you probably want the ones that are going to be able to like charge through and do some type of CC effect on players in front of you. Are you more about kind of using a mount to dodge and avoid, different types of things? Well, then you probably want some type of invulnerability skills or some type of protective skills that you can activate at certain times. Are you going to be more traversal and focus on kind of speed? You use your mount just to kind of go around the world and you don't really care about the combat aspect. Well, then you probably want some skill sets on your mount that reflect that.
Make it speedy to get away.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
that expeditious retreat type of vibe going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, obviously there's a lot of different games. Some don't allow you to mount in combat, so it is a good question too.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a difficulty from a balance perspective. Obviously, on the design side, when you're having to incorporate speeds that are so radically different from the normal player movement speeds, and mounts do have obviously a significantly faster component there. But that's why you build into the skill sets that players have. Obviously, those types of CCs, which can either, as we spoke about previously, knock the player off of their mount, kill the mount with some massive damage, or stun the player. Right? Those are components that are taken into account when balancing out these skill selections
I
for
do want
players
to bring
and
up
classes.
also a possible exception to the rule because I just want to clarify for
Sure.
the viewers as well. because there might be follow-up questions from the community, which is, if I'm in a dungeon or something like that, there may be spaces where you cannot summon your mount. Is that the
Dicen, si
case?
estás en una
I think we have
dungeon o
talked
así,
about
si hay
that in the past,
espacios donde no puedes invocar la
Generally, in the
montura.
open world, you should be okay to summon your mount.
Dice que en todo el
There's
mundo se
relatively
puede
few
summonear, en
instances
todo el
that we're
open
going
world,
to
todo el mundo
incorporate
abierto.
into the game, probably on the realm of like 80-20 open world to instances. There definitely is going to be opportunities where we would probably want to restrict the ability to summon mounts or even battle pets at some of those instances.
Y dice que
where we wanna just
probablemente
more safely
haya
curate what that
instancias
experience looks
donde
and
no
feels like,
se pueda invocar
and
monturas.
balance is perspective as well, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to add that in there. And then, of course, we have Tyrrell Stoneheart. Ooh, having a problem. Which wants to know about freehold permissions. And I know we've talked a lot about freehold permissions in the past. If I give someone permission to decorate my freehold, will they be able to use their freehold building cosmetic skins on my freehold? So the items that they have in their inventory.
Están hablando de que si tú le das permiso a otra persona para que meta,
Almost certainly not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
si
As
das
a matter of fact, I don't
permisos
even
a otro
know
para que
from a decoration standpoint,
decore
that's
tu
almost gonna be
villa, si puede utilizar
solely-
sus,
I think that's solely
tus
the player who
cosméticos,
owns
no de
the
tienda.
property.
Eso no
You can
puedes.
give
No,
permissions
dicen que
like
no.
opening doors, accessing chests, utilizing
Está diciendo que
furniture
los
or
permisos
crafting
son para
stations,
abrir
but
cofres, abrir
from a
puertas,
placement
utilizar.
and decor standpoint, that's going to be entirely on the owner.
Okay.
O sea,
There
están
could be
explicando
skins
que
that,
tú puedes dar
I play a
permisos
lot
de
of
hacer
MMOs, so I've
cosas,
done a
pero
lot of
nunca de
interior
decorar
decorating
la
stuff.
casa. Cada
People
casa es de
hire
un
other
player.
players to come and like create a hot tub in their house or with strange objects because some people just can't think
Are
about
good
it.
at that, yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
just like they come up with crazy stuff, man. So I think that is kind of the intention that they have thought of.
Yeah.
Something to
I
maybe
don't
think
know.
about for the future.
There's
just
that's a fun aspect of it, but there's other things that can be created as kind of like a loophole to what we want to control that we would want to restrict placement to the player.
Okay, I'm just following up for you guys. Ghost, you know why I said hot tub. Ghost Rings wants to know. There's a whole thing going on Twitch with hot tubs, so
really?
guild to freehold.
Han hecho el meme
is
de
the
los
next
hot
topic here,
tubs de
which is,
Twitch.
will guild leaders be able to use their freehold building cosmetics on their guild freehold as well as
Dicen
their
si los
personal
cosméticos de un player se pueden aplicar a las
It depends.
freeholds
Depends
de la
on the
guild.
item. Some items will not be cross applicable between guild hall freeholds and personal freeholds. There will also likely be some restrictions on item placements based on the type of property you're attempting to place it on. But there could be some cross.
Dice que habrá restricciones, pero que sí que habrá algo de
And then we have
de que
I
se
don't know,
puede
I think
utilizar
it's
cosméticos
IYI, so I don't know
en
how to
otras
pronounce that.
propiedades.
Wants to know dropping items. Can a corrupt player drop items out of their inventory for others to pick up, or does
Preguntan
dragging
si
them out of your inventory simply destroy them?
Preguntan si un player corrupto puede lootear o se destruyen esos
At the
ítems.
moment, dragging items out of your inventory destroys it. We haven't answered the question on whether or not we're going to have in-world drops. That's likely we won't.
That.
Yeah, I know. It's likely we will not.
Well, in Lineage 2, we would drop all the coins
I
and
know.
you'd spell stuff. It's so fun.
It's great. In
Think of
Lineage
how many
2,
players we're going to have in a zone
Yes,
and
I
how
know.
many items those players could have
Just
in their
I know.
inventory.
Yeah,
They could
They
end up on the
didn't save it
ground.
forever. It was like they had a
Just-
short period of time they stayed
they
up.
did have they had a lifetime. But
Yeah.
just to give funny context, when I used to play Lineage 2 and I used to own the castles with my guild, I'm not proud of this, but I used to place
I think
one.
you might be a little bit proud.
I'm not proud. I really am not. But you know, to be fair, they started it first, so I had to do it. And I had to do it in reciprocation. But we used to place one Adina just all over the one little coin all over the ground on the battlefield, so that when the attackers came up to the siege zone, they would instantly crash. No.
Steven!
Listen, do not do as I did when I was younger. That's bad. But
Ha preguntado la pava que molaría que los objetos cayesen al suelo. Y el pavo que programa, que es el rubito, dice, a ver, que es, con la de players que va a haber en una zona, los ordenadores van a explotar, ¿sabes? Tiene razón.
I know, I've seen it.
Eso sería una puta locura. Habrá un cuerpo looteable y punto, tío.
Even if we didn't, that would be a loophole that we'd want to try to avoid. So what we would do is on a corrupt character, we would disable their player player-to-player trading, and their ability to drop items. If they can make it to their freehold and deposit in their private storage, that's fine, but they wouldn't be able to do so with a public warehouse or an NPC warehouse.
And you can currently trade items. So if you go up to somebody, you can trade an item with them.
Currently, you can.
You can accept trades. So there are some tradable items. Yeah.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is we would restrict a corrupt player's ability to access their player-to-player trade option.
Gotcha.
And their ability to drop items.
But generally, people are usually going to be able to trade. Is what I meant. Not that about. I wasn't
Correct,
specifically
yes.
speaking about corrupted players.
Yes.
That makes sense to me. A corrupted player maybe should not be able to have the same.
Están hablando que los players
casualties as
corruptos no podrán
Yeah.
utilizar
I don't mean casualties in the sense of death.
en
I mean
plan
casual.
bancos públicos ni nada,
have
Yes.
access
solo
to.
cosas personales,
Different words.
como casas y eso.
English is strange and it's not my first language. And our last question here, unless we want to go to the bonus questions, I don't know if you guys have time. I know we have started late and we have a long day and we have a lot going on. Is from
I'm
Otterboy.
so hungry.
I know, which is an amazing name. And they have a question about progression. What is your philosophy
Dicen cuál es su
on
filosofía
progress across various systems
en
being
el
account-wide
progreso
versus character-specific?
en cuanto a cuenta
My philosophy is that it should be character specific.
Yeah,
cuanto
I think
a
we're pretty lockstep about
personaje.
that. There
Y está diciendo
are-
que ellos se
ooh,
centran
I can't
bastante
think of anything
en
that we have as
personajes.
care-
Casi
account-wide.
nada
I know
es
why
de
that
cuenta
question was
entera.
asked, right? It's so that people who love alts and roll alts don't have to go through all of that content again. It's part of this game, right? Like that's part of the commitment to creating a
So
character
replayability too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. Like, the amount of time that we put behind certain progression paths that we want players to kind of, soak before they get that achievement, that is intended for a per character progression, right? And it becomes a different type of game when you allow this, some progressive paths to be account wide and, multiple characters. It is a fundamentally different economy. It's a fundamentally different, power balance. It's just a lot of different things.
You also have to take a look at the state of the world, right? Like some things will be available at certain states of the world and some things will not, right? And depending on when you create your character will depend like where in your character's life you see those things. And having a character that kind of has all of the history of everything kind of breaks the idea of the game kind of like at a fundamental level. So
Yeah. And the last thing on that.
Están hablando que
what's the last
un
question?
personaje que tuviera de todo, pues
Okay.
sería
Last thing on
bastante
that subject is,
rompería el
it also
juego por cómo
makes
está
alt
pensado.
creation
Es
and
cierto.
alt progression more meaningful too, because there's a few subsect of people who are capable and are willing to kind of create that alt to satisfy some other purpose. It's also a rewarding benefit to them that they are aware, like if another person wants to achieve this, they have to go through the same amount of work that I had to go through, and that's I think an important thing.
And on the other spectrum,
No habrá
of the
beneficios de
non-progression
progreso,
items, the cosmetic
para
stuff,
personajes, para
and
otros
transferring
personajes.
that between characters and accounts. I know we've talked a little bit about that, but I know that people have follow-up questions about that. If you just want to clarify on that front, how folks will be able to do that.
Say that one more time.
On the cosmetic side of it, being able to, put items on different characters. I know we've talked about
Yes.
that in the past. Is that an
Yes.
exception to that rule? Because that's not
So
non-progression.
cosmetics, if you own a cosmetic item, it is account bound, right?
Vale.
It's on your account.
Los
and you can
objetos
assign it to a
cosméticos
character.
son
But when you assign
toda la
that to a
cuenta.
character, it's a one-time assignment. We
Pero
may
que se
provide, I think-
asignan
I don't know if we've
a
done this in the
un
past,
personaje.
But we probably allow players to unassign it from a character and
Pero
assign
que
it
lo
to a
puedes
new one with some
desasignar
cooldown
y
period,
seleccionar en otro personaje.
if they wish to. But
Solo los
yeah.
cosméticos de
Cool.
tienda,
Just wanted
creo.
to clarify on that because I think people might
Solo
have
los de
follow-up
tienda
questions in
estos.
regards to that. All right. With that,
Que son los que no nos
we made
interesan.
it. We made it through another development update.
I hope that's not surprising.
All of the things that came
After
at
this
us
morning
today.
and last night, it's pretty surprising.
I was a little worried. I'm like, I hope my power stays on today.
Vale,
but, yeah, thank you
pues
so much to everybody who tuned in. We always enjoy these. It's
Bueno,
fun for us to showcase all of our
se ha
amazing
acabado
content. I know we had some
el
personal.
de esto, ¿no? El streaming ha sido 1 hora y media. Ha habido momentos aburridos, obviamente. Estas cosas a veces son muy técnicas. Tampoco lo he podido comentar todo, así en directo, ¿sabes? O sea, Realmente estos vídeos sé que no van a tener muchas visitas ni tal. Quiero que sean para gente que realmente pues, le interesa seguir el desarrollo y tal, como es mi caso. Pues que si se lo quieren ver, pues que se lo vean conmigo. Recordar. Joder, tío. Se me va, tío. Joder, llevo 1 hora y media, es de noche, son las 10:30 ya, he de madrugar. Ay, bueno, siempre lo pongo su canal siempre lo pongo en su canal de descripción, twitch.tv/Creation, seguirlo. Son los grandes, obviamente, ya lo sabéis, están creando el juego que nos va a captivar a todos. ¿Cautivar? Perdón, estoy muy cansado ya. Pero, bueno, básicamente eso, que si habéis llegado hasta aquí os interesa mucho el desarrollo. Así que suscribiros al canal. Recordar que mañana seguramente subiré este vídeo el mismo día, el día 30, ahora lo subiré. Y el día 31, creo que no hay 31 de abril, es uno. Día 1 de mayo tendremos vídeo del resumen del directo, que me pondré ya a hacer esta misma noche seguramente, aunque esté un poquito cansado, un poquito de café y ¡pam! A hacer el vídeo resumen. Dicho esto, muchísimas gracias, mira la descripción, comparte el vídeo con tus amigos, dale like, suscríbete, activa la campanita, todas esas mierdas, aunque lo de activar la campanita nunca lo digo. Pero bueno, whatever, chicos, muchísimas gracias por estar en este vídeo tan larguísimo y tan aburrido en algunos momentos, lo sé, pero bueno, hay que seguir ahí, empapándonos de todas las noticias de Ice of Creation. Os traeré el resumen mañana, recordarlo, y nos vemos en el mundo de Berra.